I've got a great story for you. It's called Kiana's Forest Fling. Once upon a time, nestled near a whispering wood, lived a girl named Kiana. Kiana loved many things: drawing fantastical creatures with shimmering scales, listening to music that made her toes tap, and imagining herself as a princess in a faraway land. One sunny morning, Kiana's mother called her. "Kiana, my dear," she said, her voice as warm as a summer's day, "would you take this basket of treats to your grandmother? But remember, stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." Kiana nodded, her eyes sparkling with excitement. She grabbed the basket, which smelled wonderfully of freshly baked cookies, and skipped towards the forest, humming a merry tune. As she walked, Kiana began to draw in her sketchbook. First, she drew a fluffy bunny with a twitching nose, then a chatty squirrel with bushy tail, and finally, a beautiful bluebird with feathers the color of the sky. With each stroke of her pencil, she felt as if she were dancing with her sketchbook and pencil, like a princess on a quest. She imagined herself as a superhero, strong and brave, ready to face any challenge that came her way. The music in her ears and her heart was the soundtrack to her very own fairy tale. She saw a flash of red and yellow on the ground and noticed she had drawn the most incredible flower. Suddenly, a rustle in the bushes caught her attention. Kiana stopped and looked around. A large, shadowy figure emerged. It was the big, bad wolf. He wasn't so big or bad-looking now, but he was clearly trying to trick her. "Well, hello there, little girl," the wolf said, his voice smooth as silk. "Where are you off to with such a lovely basket?" Kiana, remembering her mother's words, answered cautiously. "I'm going to visit my grandmother," she replied, "and this basket is full of treats." She drew a picture of the wolf in her head as she said this. The wolf licked his lips and smiled. "Such a long walk. How about you pick some flowers? You could bring them to your grandmother. It would make her day." Kiana was thoughtful. Her grandmother loved flowers, but her mother did say not to talk to strangers. Remembering her drawing of a superhero and finding some courage, she used her wits. She smiled sweetly and said, "That's a lovely idea, Mr. Wolf, but I must go. I can't be late." The wolf pretended to be disappointed, but secretly was very happy. "Oh, what a shame," he said. "Then you must be on your way." As Kiana continued on the path, drawing a picture of a magical creature, the wolf, with a wicked glint in his eyes, raced ahead towards her grandmother's cottage. When Kiana finally arrived at her grandmother's cottage, she skipped up the path, the smell of cookies and flowers filling the air. She knocked on the door, but there was no answer. "Grandmother?" she called. Slowly, she opened the door and stepped inside. Her heart skipped a beat. In her grandmother's bed lay the big bad wolf. He was wearing her grandmother's nightcap and looked incredibly smug. Kiana gasped. She remembered what she had drawn. She could draw anything. She remembered what her mother had taught her, that kindness and wit were her best weapons. But now, what could she do? Kiana, quick on her feet, pretended to be surprised. "Grandmother," she exclaimed, "what big eyes you have!" The wolf, startled, sat up. "The better to see you with, my dear," he growled, trying to sound like her grandmother. Kiana kept her cool. She pretended to admire his eyes and started drawing in her sketchbook. With a flash of her pencil, she quickly drew a picture of the scariest creature she could imagine. A monster with sharp teeth, glowing eyes, and enormous claws. The wolf, distracted and terrified by the picture, leaped out of bed. At that moment, a loud knock came at the door, and the woodcutter, a brave and kind friend of Kiana, entered the cottage. Seeing the wolf, he knew what he had to do. He chased the wolf away into the deep forest, never to be seen again. Her grandmother, though shaken, was safe and sound. Kiana was overjoyed. "Oh, grandmother!" she cried, running to hug her. They sat together with the woodcutter and shared the treats from the basket. Kiana showed them her drawings, including her picture of the bunny. They spent the rest of the afternoon dancing and listening to music. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the forest, Kiana realized that even when things seem scary, with a little bravery, kindness, and the help of friends, everything could be all right. Kiana had many adventures, But she never forgot this day and the friends she had made. And from then on, Kiana and her friends always took care of each other, for they knew that friendship was the greatest magic of all. Let's see what a great listener you are. Can you answer the following question? How did Kiana trick the big bad wolf? Let's see how you did. The answer is, Kiana used her drawing skills to create a picture of a scary monster and made the wolf run away. You did a great job! I hope you enjoyed this Storypie tale. I'll see you next time.